everybody, fellow sled heads out there. Timberwolf Sledders here, coming to you from the shop. Season's over. It is July 2nd. None of us have been out since, what was it, July 8th was my last ride, or June 8th, sorry. June 8th here in Washington was my last ride. So, wanted to come to you, talk to you about our season we had this year, some of our highlights, some of our favorite moments. So, I'm Joe Sr. We've got Katie back here, my daughter, and my son Joe Jr. over there on his cat. We're just going to talk a little bit about some of our highlights. So, this year we got a week late start than normal. We usually start up about the weekend after Thanksgiving. We head out, we find some snow wherever we can find it, and ride a little bit. There's never really much, but we get the sleds fired up and get them running, and just go out and just enjoy what snow there is. And so we got about a week's late start, went up and rode a little bit, and then we kind of did a little bit of riding between Thanksgiving and Christmas, not much because the snow is pretty low. And then I think it was Christmas week. Me and my boy Joe Jr. went out, went up to one of our favorite spots, and well, Joe, why don't you tell the good sled heads out there what happened that weekend?
Hooked a tree, going up the side of the mountain, hooked a tree, ripped off the right side, no,
Left side.
left side, arms, the top and the bottom, got a big nice bruise in the leg from the track.
Ripped off your shock.
Ripped off my shock, broke a steering post.
And how did you break the steering post? You were doing a
Scorpion.
a full scorpion, yeah. I think you ripped your snow pants from the track and got a nice mark on his coat from his track, and
Still have that still.
yeah, but you know, he was wide open when he hit the tree, and sled rolled over on top of him, and the track was spinning. But that's why we always wear tether switches. That's it right there, guys. Tether switch on every sled we own. Mandatory to ride with. So, you know, that shut the sled off on him, and that way it didn't tear him up any worse than it did. Had a nice bruise for a few days, but I think we were down for about 2 weeks on that one. We got the A-arms from a local friend here in Yakima, and we sourced the shock and the steering post out of a guy in Colorado on eBay. So about 2 weeks down, got it fired back up and ready to ride again. I think it was a few weeks after that. My daughter Katie and I went out. I think Joe was busy doing something, but my daughter Katie and I went out, and we did some tree clearing on our trails. One of our favorite areas they've been doing a lot of logging in over the last few years, so the groomer hasn't been out in the wintertime to groom the trails. And we had noticed quite a few logs down a week prior, so me and her went up and we cleared the trail of the trees, took chainsaws and whatnot. And so Katie, why don't you tell us a little bit about clearing the trees? Was that fun for you?
Yeah, it was fun. Trying to make sure sledders were safe and crossing trail and everything.
Yeah, because one of the areas we ride in that had a lot of downed trees on the trail, there's a full spectrum of riders that ride this area, from little kids, 6, 7 years old, to adults like myself. So you have experienced riders, inexperienced riders, big sleds, small sleds, you got it all. Well, little kids with limited experience on little sleds are going to have a hard time going around trees or even over them. So, we went up there, we cleared these trees out and made the trail passable. a little later on in the year, the loggers got done and the groomer did come up, so we even helped out the groomer. The groomer didn't have to clear the trail. So it was a win-win for everybody involved. And so what was the next highlight of our season after we did the tree clearing? Probably would have been Mount St. Helens.
Was it?
I think it was our first trip to Mount St. Helens. That was in February, first part. My boy and I, we had been wanting to go back to St. Helens since we went last year. We rode in rain and couldn't see nothing the whole time we were down there. And it was horrible riding, but we rode anyway because, you know, we're kind of hardcore that way. And it was me, my boy, and a friend of ours last year. And well, this year I got online. It was I think it was a Monday or Tuesday. I looked at the weather report for St. Helens, and lo and behold, clear skies all weekend down on Mount St. Helens. So it was, let's go. So took a day off of work, loaded up the sleds in the RV. Me and my boy, no one else could go on such short notice. So me and my boy, we took off on Friday morning, made the 5-hour trek down there. It takes us 5 hours to get to the south side of the mountain with the RV. Made it down there that day, set up the RV, pulled the sleds out, ready to go. Saturday morning, we get up, we're ready to ride. We are stoked. Not a cloud inside, huh? Not a cloud. Not a lot of snow yet, but not even a cloud. So we got great weather, and we're thinking this is going to be a great ride, but we don't even know the mountain. You know, this was technically our second time there, but the first time we couldn't even see anything. So we were talking to a couple guys there in the parking lot, you know, let them know, hey, we really don't know the mountain. We've heard about certain areas. We'd like to find them. Would you guys be willing to show us around the mountain a little bit? And they were like, oh, heck yeah, come and ride with us. Let's go. So we took off from the parking lot with them. How was that first day on Mount St. Helens?
Good.
It was really good.
Really good.
I mean, it was really good. These guys were showing us areas, and man, we couldn't believe the areas we got to ride in. And I mean, we were just tearing it up, having a ball. And at one point, we broke off from those guys and showed us up there on the mountain. You know, they were gracious to show us around, but they wanted to do their own thing, and we kind of wanted to explore some more. And so we kind of parted ways, and you know, all was good. And so, where did we venture to up there, Joe?
The plains, I think.
Plains of Abraham, yeah.
And I don't know any other.
And we kind of went up by the summit. We saw where the sleds ride up to summit the mountain. We rode up by there. We did not summit for a couple reasons. One, I had never been up there. I don't know exactly where to go. And two, don't know what it's like coming back down. So I'm not going to summit without somebody experienced with the mountain, knows the mountain, been up there many times to lead us up to the summit. So we did not summit, but we were up by there. We got a couple of videos of us up there near the top, and had a great time, huh? I mean, we just kind of rode all over, and I think it was about 2 o'clock that day.
About that.
About 2 o'clock, we decided, you know, we've been riding hard all day, we're tired, let's start working our way back to the parking lot. And this one area we were in the previous year, I knew where we were in relation to that, and knew if we dropped down in this in what I call a wash, it's a runoff for snow melt off the mountain. It's called Pine Creek up there. We dropped down into that knowing it would take us right back down the trail. And so we drop in that. You know, I don't know if any of you watched the video from our trip to Mount St. Helens, the first trip to Mount St. Helens. But if you have, you'll know somehow, some way we ended up getting out of that and ended up in another one. And it got really tight and hairy. You couldn't get through, and overland to the east to get back to a place called, what's that area called? Lahar.
Yeah.
Back to Lahar, which was due east of us, and it's getting late. I mean, we've been fighting through brush. I mean, thick brush, and we're in this other wash, a smaller wash. It looked pretty good, looked pretty promising, dropping down into it, and got down in there, went down a ways, and it was even worse than the last one. And we had passed up a little cabin, and sleds are running hot. It's coming up on dusk. You can't find your way through the trees at night, and so we ended up going back to that little cabin. It was just 3 walls and a roof, fire pit, fully stocked with wood, and me and my boy, we stayed the night. How cold was it that night, Joe?
I don't even know how to describe it.
It was cold. It was just plumb cold. So, but we carry survival packs. I have a video out of what we do carry in our survival packs. We're pretty well set. Not a warm night, but a survivable night. We had shelter, we had wood, we had food, we had extra clothes. We had what we needed to survive. We did survive the night. Didn't sleep much. And next morning, we walked our way out of there to the trail. It was only a quarter mile. It was stupid how close we were. But we played it smart, we played it safe by staying the night. So walked out, realized we were that close, walked back to sleds, hopped on them. We were at the trail in 10 minutes. Rode back to the RV and we just crashed. We crashed all day, we slept all day. This was a Sunday. Slept all day Sunday, got up for a couple hours in the evening, ate something, ended up just going right back to bed. We were so tired. Got up the next morning, Monday morning, put the sleds back in the RV and headed for home. That was our first trip at Mount St. Helens this year. After that, we had, that was February. So February, our snow finally came in here in Washington, and it flat dumped. It just dumped all month long. I mean, it was dumping in town. We had snow everywhere in town. We had all kinds of snow in the hills, and our local club, the Yakima Ski Vendors, put on every year they put on a scavenger hunt where members of the club go out the day before. They hang plastic colored paper plates in trees for people to find, and you find a plate, you get entered in for the drawing for the grand prize. They hold a raffle afterwards, food, great fun. Well, the day of the scavenger hunt hits, and it's flat snowing. We headed up in the morning with the sleds, and it was a 1-lane road getting into the parking lot. We were plowing snow with the bumper of our pickup, which sits on 35s. We were plowing snow with the bumper of the pickup, pulling the trailer, got in there, unloaded the sleds. We went out, and the 3 of us went out and rode. Did we find any plates, Katie?
No, sadly.
No. Why didn't we find any plates? It was snowing so hard we couldn't see anything.
Couldn't see more.
But the snow was like 3 foot deep powder. 3 foot deep powder up there. Oh, it was stupid, insane. Poor Katie on her old machine, she was getting stuck every time we turned around. And can't see nothing. We rode quite a ways, but never did find a plate. But still had a good time and made it back to the parking lot, no plate in hand, and still a good day. And next day was supposed to be clear skies. What do you know? So next day, a Sunday, a boy and I, we load them up and we headed for our favorite spot. And we get up there, I'm not kidding you, the snow is up to the bars. All day long, over the hood, in your face. We're just tearing it up. Joe, you were having such a good time, you forgot to do something that day.
I forgot the video.
You completely forgot the video.
I was like, you know what, I'm not.
He got a couple, but he pretty much just spaced off getting the video of that day. And, which is, honestly, that's so cool. I mean, that is loving riding right there. You love riding so much, the conditions are so perfect. You forget about videoing and you just love it. Me, on the other hand, I was loving it. I shot video all day. I mean, I think I filled an SD card plus another half of one. And I was filming all day. I mean, snow in my face. Oh, it's just heaven. And get home that night and I grab a few stills off my videos to post on our page, you know, on Facebook, and I plan to pull all the videos a couple days later, and I go back to my SD cards a couple days later, pull all the videos off, and they're gone. The SD card crapped itself, and I lost everything, both SD cards. The only thing I managed to grab was a few stills out of my videos. The most epic conditions we've ever seen, I think, here in Washington. I mean, at least that I've ridden in, and I lose all my video. We got a few of Joe's, but we had the most amazing time. And so, next big highlight would be our second attempt at Mount St. Helens. Once again, I look at the report for the weather. It was Monday or Tuesday. Clear skies again coming up. I think this was the first weekend in March. And by now we've got all kinds of snow, and I was like, well, let's go. So Joe got another day off of school. I got another day off of work. We loaded up the RVs and we hit that mountain. And we rode our butts off. No staying the night in the woods this time. All we did was ride. You know, we met some new friends up there. I posted online, we were coming up for the weekend. Some guys that ride the mountain all the time said, hey, come and join us. So we joined up with them on Saturday, and they showed us the entire mountain. God, we rode everywhere. Made some lifelong friends off that one day's ride. We got to tow one sled off the mountain. The old Yamaha, the workhorse of sleds, towed another Yamaha, believe it or not, off the mountain. Great fun. We had a great time doing it. But yeah, we had the time of our lives riding that time. Still did not summit. That's scheduled for this next year to summit Mount St. Helens. It's already in the works. So our next big highlight would be the kids' ride. That was the following weekend. So Katie, why don't you talk a little bit about the kids' ride?
Basically, there was, kids' ride was basically a lot of kids came around to ride or learn about like sledding safety and just, I guess, just ride around and just...
Avalanche safety.
Yeah, avalanche
right.
safety and all that.
So how old were the kids?
Like, I would say from like 6, 7, 10. I would say.
Actually, no.
Actually,
there was a couple of them were like
like 3 or 4.
Not like a couple, like 1 or 2 year olds in there.
Well, there were some babies around, but they weren't riding sleds.
No.
But I think the youngest was probably 3 or 4, and the kids ride was for all kids under the age of 18. So all 3 of us were there, what did we take up with us? William took up our 3 machines, but we took up something else.
We took up a Yamaha that we were gonna give, that we were gonna donate to
Right.
a raffle.
A 1984 Yamaha XL 3. Little 340 fan cooler. Had a 121 track on it. It was one that I bought many years ago for Joe to learn how to ride on. He rode it. He cut his teeth on that old thing. He rolled it a few times. Once it destroyed the hood, the oil tank. But we put another hood on, didn't match it. I sourced the hood out from a gracious guy over in Wisconsin that gave me the matching hood for it. We just had it shipped to us. We put that on. We somebody here in town locally rebuilt both clutches for us to go on this machine, and we cleaned her all up. It was running like a champ, and we gave it away. Literally just gave it away. It was a grand prize for kids 12 and under. All they had to do was show up, and they got a ticket for the sled, and lo and behold, a little 4 or 5 year old girl won it. She was super stoked. She comes from a family that rides, and she was super stoked about it, grinning from ear to ear.
There we go.
And that family has mutual friends through us at Sled, called the X-Phaser Gang. And the next day I get pictures from these people called the X-Phaser Gang, with a picture of her up riding it in the mountains the very next day. Bless me like no other. It was such a fun event, so fun to give away that sled. We had the time of our life. So that was a huge highlight, I think, for all of us. Both these kids rode that sled, and to see the joy on that little girl's face when she got it, you can't beat that. You can't top it. So, and that was, the kids' ride was the first day. Katie here got to ride her machine that we got this year. She upgraded. She had learned on the old Excel, outgrew that, and then she started riding, it was a 96 Skidoo 500. But she wanted something that she could kind of learn how to side hill on. And so that was her. So we ended up getting her 999 Cat here. It's also a 500, but it's built a little bit better. Something she can grow on some more. And so her first time riding it was at the kids' ride. And I think the next weekend, what did you and I do?
We practiced on south side healing.
Yeah, we went up to one of our favorite areas, and what we call the play area. Sorry, secret area. Can't share where it's at. But very few people know about this area, and it's absolutely huge. Hills, gullies, I mean, everything you can imagine. You can pop pillows in here. You can hill climb, side hill, do work the trees. It's a real big area. And very few people know how to get in there to it. And so we went in there and we worked on her side hill a little bit. I think she got it up a couple times a little bit, but she's got a lot of work to do. I think this next year she might get that sled up on edge a little bit better. So that was fun, wasn't it? Just kind of learning, spending time with Dad for the whole day. So I think that's pretty much the highlights of our season.
Yeah.
A couple of trips to St. Helens and, giving back because that's what we're about. Not only do we love to ride, we love to give back. We love to give back to other sledders. We love to give back to people in general. So, you know, it was a season of riding, a season of fails, a season of giving back. We couldn't ask for a better season. So yeah, that was pretty much our season in a nutshell. Be sure to visit our website. What's our website, Katie? Speak up.
www.timberwolfsledders.com.
That's right. And where can the good folks find us, Joe? Besides our website?
YouTube.
YouTube? What's our channel?
Timberwolf Sledders.
Timberwolf Sledders. And what are they supposed to do when they find our channel? Hit that.
Subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe
Hit
button.
that subscribe button. That's right.
And the bell. for
And the bell.
notifications.
And the bell. And the bell. Hit the bell. Where else can they find us?
On
Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook,
Instagram, Twitter.
Instagram, and Twitter. We don't do much with Twitter because I don't understand Twitter. I'm old. These two get it more than I do, but yeah, we're on all those outlets on social media. We're posted all the time in Facebook. We are members of Sled Addicts Nation. That's SLEDADX Nation on Facebook. Group brought up by Rylan Rouser. I was on his podcast a few weeks ago, so make sure you check out Sled Addicts Podcast. I want to put a plug in for them. So make sure you're listening to Sled Addicts Podcast, hitting that subscribe button on YouTube for Timberwolf Sledders. Visit our website, sign up for our newsletter, so you're the first to know when we post new videos. So yeah, that's our season. Did we have a good season?
Yeah, definitely.
Is next year going to be better?
Yes.
Absolutely. So until then, God bless y'all. Stay safe out there on the snow. We'll see you next year.